Always wanted to get out there and kind of bring my own thing to the world. So I worked in finance for a bit, and then I kind of found a passion. I ended up bringing a company out. It's been about 15 years by now. 15 years ago I started it.
15 years of School of Rock?
No. 15 years ago I started another company.
Gotcha.
That kind of got me onto the entrepreneurial side of things, where I always wanted to be.
Yes.
And one of the byproducts was I was working out of my house and I was playing my drums every day again. So I really got back into that.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the end of that, I was looking for kind of what the next thing would be. And both my parents are teachers. I've always loved teaching, and had an opportunity to sit with my daughter's then 4th grade course to do Dave Brubeck's Take 5.
Okay.
Helped them with the rhythm. I was like, cool, I'll do this. Ended up getting pulled into 7 songs on their spring concert with the orchestra, playing the drums. A father approached me at the end and said, hey, would you teach my daughter drums? This is cool, I'll do this.
Yeah.
Another month goes by, I'm loving that, I'm like totally fulfilled. It's been one of the greatest experiences getting to do that. And I meet an adult in my town who was taking School of Rock lessons, and both of his kids went to School of Rock. And I started like peeking under the covers, and I looked at what School of Rock brings to the table as far as teaching music, and what they've kind of, it's not rocket science, but reinvented the approach.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of tools and proprietary technology that sits underneath all of that and allows us, as me as an entrepreneur and then as an educator, to bring this amazing thing out to the community. And so I started looking into it, and short story, there's an opportunity in the West Hartford area. They were looking, and I said, that's perfect. So we ended up moving up here, launching the school about a year ago. It's been really well received, and we're having a great time. We're actually opening up another one in East Hartford, hopefully later this year.
That's my question. So School of Rock, okay, obviously is a band, like a brand, I should say. So when was it created?
So School of Rock, the brand and sort of the franchise started in around 1997, 98. It was, the movie actually was based on the first location. Everyone asked. The movie is based on the first concept, which was done in Philly, Paul Green School of Music.
Yeah.
And they had this concept of bringing kids together and teaching through, not just, learn school, scales and chords and learn your instrument, learn rudiments on the drums. You actually learn through application. You're in a band with friends learning songs with the goal of getting out live and performing. And so you're going to learn all the same skills underneath that, but there's a purpose for each one. And so as a student, adult and kid, the motivation just never goes away. You're always looking forward to that next rehearsal, that next song you're going to learn with your band. The accountability to your bandmates is so much more than just one-on-one with a teacher. And so it just really drives the motivation to continue. And, year in, you see how good students get just through that approach. How many songs they've learned, how confident they are in their instrument, how much more as a musician they learn by not just learning guitar in a vacuum, but learning to play with the bassist, listen to the drummer, find the rhythm as a band, and connect on stage. So it's really, really cool approach.
So my question now for like the high schools that's, teaching band, and even the colleges, is it all about the approach? Or really getting people hooked?
There's something to it. I think it's very much like the academic style, but we opened up the door to contemporary music.
Okay.
So we're not playing Beethoven and Bach. We're actually getting the kids playing Zeppelin, Beatles, all the way through Taylor Swift, 21 Pilots.
Wow.
Like, they're playing things that they recognize.
Yes.
Everything has a curriculum underneath it. So we've got a database of thousands and thousands of songs that are mapped to what they teach. So we can pull out a song in a best of the 2000 show that teaches these 5 kids on each of their instruments the right thing at the right time.
Okay.
So they're playing a song together and they're having a great time, but the drummer is playing a basic 4/4 groove. The guitarist is finally getting that chance to solo, and the bassist is working on a 16th pattern. And we find a song that works for that. Right? So it's a pretty cool marriage of taking the things that everyone really loves and then finding those curriculum elements and kind of disguising them, like putting the medicine in the vegetables.
So it's like empowerment to the musician in a sense, like so you could in a sense you could have your lead moment. There's a lot of times in bands is I know Eminem said it right, the name of my band, I'm the star of my band and whatnot. They don't know everybody else, but the thing is with this, you're empowering the musician, like, hey, I'm on drums, I could be a lead too. I'm on the bass, I could be a lead too. It's just, an extra level of confidence, and and that brings more love to what they're doing.
There's a whole other level to like the leadership aspect, and you know, the place that we're building is not just a music school. It's like a teen center, and so within that, we find those kids that are doing well, and we sort of guide them to becoming mentors to the other kids. So like within, we have a Rock 101 program, which is the precursor to performance. All the beginners go in there. They're in a room full of beginners learning to be a band for the first time. A couple months in, some of the kids aren't ready to graduate, but they're still getting it. Those are the kids we kind of have lead the room. Okay, so you're the best drummer in here. You're not going to show off. You're going to take those new guys who just showed up and show them how to kind of do what you're doing. And it works all the way through at the top level, where we have an audition-only thing called house band. Right now, there's 7 kids. We're having new auditions this Friday. So every season, every 6 months, we do another audition. These are the best kids of the school. And they audition for the parts. They're the best musicians, but they embody the best of school rock. They're the kids that didn't have to be asked. They're in the room and they saw the other kids struggling and they showed them how to do it.
Leadership, just help your classmate, help your fellow human. Like, let's get through this.
We even give them an opportunity to get out in the community and talk to people. You know, a lot of the younger generation, they really benefit from getting out and interacting with people in a completely different environment. Just having a one-on-one conversation with people is new to some of the kids that come through the door, and encouraging them to do that both in the school and even outside.
So, any student from this program so far, have they wanted to take it to the next level, professional, artistry and whatnot, like singing, rapping, even songwriting as a professional? Are they ready for that yet, or still, in the beginning stages?
Oh no! So I mean, if you see our house band play, you would mistake them for a professional band. And then some of the kids that come through School of Rock, both our location as well as around the world, the others have gone on to actually have professional careers already.
Nice.
School of Rock gives them lots of platforms within the school, and then when they get to that level, there's lots of ways they get out there. That house band that we have. There's a national program called All Stars. The kids that make it into All Stars will play at Lollapalooza. They'll play Red Rocks. They'll get opportunities to play really good venues. They get into the studio, and then I know of some that have had some commercial success in just as artists after they've gone on from School of Rock.
Wow!
So it's really cool to see.
This is encouraging. Anybody that's listening technically you're not watching yet. You're going to be watching later. But anybody that's listening on the TuneIn Radio, and also just 107.7 WFCS, New Britain, Hartford, the airwaves of the Edge. You have an opportunity to take it to the next level through School of Rock, the system, the program.
And it's great because it's good for beginners and it's good for advanced students, right? Because you can find that song, that next thing to challenge you, but we can also bring a beginner into that band environment, whether they have experience on an instrument or not. And we have adults that come in as beginners. We have kids that start as experts, so it really doesn't matter.
Okay, so what was your inspiration growing up, music-wise? Like bands, singers, writers. Who got you into loving music?
That's a tough one. All right, so I think one of my earliest inspirations was actually Michael Jackson. Growing up in the 80s, the Thriller album, that whole genre. As a drummer, I got into Living Colour. I got into Rush. I got into Guns N' Roses. It kind of spanned the spectrum. Anything with a good beat drew me in. I was a teen in the 90s era, so a lot of grunge influence. 311, Nirvana, Jane's Addiction, Red Hot Chili Peppers when they were, uplift mofo time.
I think Alice in Chains
was huge. Soundgarden. It ebbs and flows throughout. Like nowadays, I go online and I'm seeing drummers from around the world that are insanely talented and picking up on things like that. And so, getting into music through my students now. Bands we don't know about and bands that I'm bringing to the table that they don't know about.
Yes.
So it's a lot of fun.
And now the discovery process is fun because between your Spotify and all the other streaming, also SoundCloud. Just get on SoundCloud and just you can recognize an artist that have a discover artist, I should say, that haven't crossed over to Apple Music yet, and that's even exciting just to be like, hey, why you're not on Apple Music yet? Why you're not on?
There's a whole layers of complexity to getting on Apple Music and Spotify. I have some music out on SoundCloud with my old band from college. It's still out there. We never took that step because we were never really commercializing it, but it lives out there.
As long as it's there.
Yeah. Nectar, if you're looking for it. NECTAR. Look for Nectar.
The current state of music, when it comes down to production, lyrics, what's your thoughts on it? And also, what's your thoughts on where music can go because there's no limit to this.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm a little bit seasoned, I guess you'd say, and so I see the challenges and the benefits. You can put music out there so easily, so it's huge, right? You can write something in your room, get it all together on your own, and put something out, but so can everyone. So it's so much harder to be seen, and then to kind of get noticed and get to that point where you can actually make a living out of it.
Yeah.
So I see the challenges of getting it out there, but at the same time, the barriers to doing it are just none anymore, right? So getting it out there is easy. Getting it noticed is huge.
Yeah, because I know back in the day, when I say back in the day, this is like 15, 20 years ago, you actually had to go to the studio to get things done. Now, with the invention, what year was the M audio box actually created? Because that's what destroyed the studio game in a sense.
I don't know the year. That's trivia I'm not up on.
So I'm gonna research that. But I was actually listening to another podcast, and they said as soon as that M audio box was created, and you're able to plug that into your computer and a microphone into that killed a lot of studios business and whatnot. So now, like what you're saying,
once you have a clean signal to get online, you could just put it to your computer. Now it's online. Hit record and go.
So man,
and microphones are pretty easy to come by now. You can get a legit setup and not that hard.
And you don't even have to go to like Guitar Center. You could just Amazon it and then put a sock over it or something, and then you're just you know what? I still miss the studio. Like I still go to certain studios in the greater Hartford area just to have that feeling. But when it comes to just getting it done, we could just do it right then and there, man.
A lot of what we are teaching too is that collaborative side of things.
Yes,
and we lived for a year or so in a virtual world trying to do it, and you can do a lot, but it's not the same. And we're seeing, again, not only the musical benefits, but the benefits of kids just learning how to get together and coordinate around who's leading, who's helping make decisions, how are they doing things as a group. It happens in our studio, so we have that space. They come in, and it's a necessary ingredient. It really, really drives it. Because
being social is, in a sense, is healthy medicine for before even the pandemic, but just in life, just to socialize, just to bounce off ideas, just to just be there. So like this is great, man. This is great. Let everybody know the social media information too.
Sure. So we are, you can find us on Facebook, SOR West Hartford, Instagram, same thing, at SOR West Hartford. There will be soon SOR East Hartford.
Nice.
We're trying to consolidate the two. So online you can see schoolofrock.com/Hartford-area. So you'll see both schools there. And you can find us you can give us a call. We actually like to talk to people. So 860-973-ROCK, that's West Hartford, and 860-962-ROCK. For East Hartford. Give us a call. Trials are free. Come in, check the place out. Honestly, you see it and you see what it's like.
Say that one more time. Trials are free.
Yeah, you can come in and we'll set you up with a free lesson. We'll do it at a time where you kind of get the whole experience. So you'll get your one-on-one lesson, but the magic of School of Rock is you also have a group rehearsal. So you're in your lesson learning your part for your rehearsal. You come back for your rehearsal, and it's a guided rehearsal with a director. So when you come in for a free trial, you get to come in for the trial, and then we'll usually have it end or begin when those rehearsals are, and you can hop in, sit in the back, check it out, kind of get the whole package at once and see what it's like. And it's really cool. You see how the students in the room, and you can even jump on your instrument that first day if you're up for it. So.
Okay, here's another cool question. Let's just say, I'm not your traditional musician, but for, those inspiring DJs, can they just bring their MIDI controller and...
We're working that direction. We teach 5 core instruments that we have a really good curriculum on for learning your instrument. But that being said, we have a songwriting curriculum that we're rolling out this fall.
Okay.
And coupled to that, there's definitely a need for teaching production. So I actually just brought on a new teacher about a week ago. He's a drum teacher, but we're working on putting together a workshop first on music and studio production. And if there's enough interest and people want to do it, we may do like a couple-month course on it. So we have the tools, we have a setup for it. We've got the equipment to do the recording. We've got a DAW setup so we can mix it all down, and we've got the MIDI controller, all that aspect built into it. So we're working on putting that together. So hopefully this fall.
Yeah, this is the cool thing about School of Rock, like open.
Yeah.
There's no box. There's no like if there's an interest and there's a need, you guys gonna figure it out.
You know what? It's really true, and it's really supportive in the franchise or the corporate behind us. They actually have relationships with production studios, some big names that they're looking at forging those relationships for the kids that want to take it that next level.
Yeah.
They're doing the work, they're putting in, they're learning the studio side. Maybe there's actually we can help them get set up with a deal, things like that down the road. So there really is the sky's the limit. They're always looking for ways we can improve what we do.
Again, anybody listening and anybody watching soon on YouTube or Instagram, if music is your thing and you're still trying to figure out your craft, and especially teenager, young adult, take a look at School of Rock. They're on Instagram. They're on all over the social media. Take a look at them. Yeah, it's a game changer.
It's never too early, never too late. We have programs that start as early as 3, and we have students as old as 7.
You mean tell me little Tommy could be making beats?
We start slow. So the 3 to 5 program is really before instruments come into play. The kids actually do get on the instruments a little, but it's focused on just building that group love of music, how to coordinate as a group. We will rock you, things like that, where we'll teach them in a group. Around 5 or 6, though, we start teaching them the basics of all 5 instruments that we teach. So literally at 5 years old, we got them on the drum kit. We have them on keys, guitar, bass, and singing if they want. And we let the kids kind of naturally figure out where they're going to hone in. Then we support them on the instrument, and then they start learning to sing and play in the band. It's pretty cool, man.
This is a win-win for the whole family.
It is. Oh
my goodness. Yeah, one more time on social media while I hit this alarm off.
Sure. It's SOR West Hartford on Facebook, Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. We don't have a lot yet because a lot of our stuff has to be private, but we'll get more. And give us a call, 860-973-ROCK.
Yes, Scott, open door policy. We need to do a part 2 because
absolutely.
With the people outside, especially the college students, there's going to be some interest. So we got to talk about this again.
Let's get the kit in here. We'll do round 2 anytime.
I'm with it. You already know it's 107.7 WFCS, New Britain, Hartford, The Edge. DJ Be Easy. No, that is dope, man.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
And then actually, let me make sure I edit this up.